Okay, everybody. It's finally happened. The Epstein client list has released. I don't think it's every name on the list, but I think it's like a bunch more. Like a significant amount of them have now been released. And before this ever came out, one of the names that was speculated to be on the list was Stephen Hawking. And this led to a clip that one of my friends saw that then spread through my friend group into a massive meme that we would quote nonstop, ended up coming from it. And I have to show it to you all because the theory that this, clip was based on ended up coming true. And I have to, you have to see this clip. We quote this constantly.
You think you had fun? Sorry?
I want to go to the island. Why won't you let me go? Let me go.
Do you think you had fun, though?
Oh, I had a blast. One of the best times of my life.
What'd you do there, Stephen?
Ate a lot of good food. Hung out with good friends.
Oh, there he is. Amazing.
There he is on the island.
That's insane.
Somebody stop me.
Let's get into that position he's in. Let's get into... So...
Who, me? Just chilling.
Me chilling, too.
Just hanging out for the day.
What a beautiful island. A butterfly has...
It gets less funny as it goes, but I really like the... I want to go to the island. I wish I could do a good, impression of the computer voice, but we quote that constantly. And I didn't understand where it was from at first. Like, my friends were just all saying, I want to go to the island constantly. And I didn't, ask, because I just didn't care. And then we were playing Fortnite, and every time I would say, we have to go to the island, in reference to Loot Lake, all my friends in the voice chat would just start laughing. And I'd just be like, God damn it, because I realized I said the island, and like I said, we need to go to the island, and they laughed, and I was like, oh, God damn it. And eventually I asked them what it was from, and they showed me this clip, and I was like, oh, okay, that is pretty... So yeah, every time I'm playing a game with my friends, and I say we have to go to the island, or a island, or that island, say we're playing Minecraft, Fortnite, whatever it may be, just everybody in the voice chat just goes... Just hear a bunch of people giggle. It's a good meme. Anyway, that is a really good segue into this topic. The Epstein list explained. What the tranche of recently unsealed court documents contain. On Wednesday and Thursday, a judge unsealed new sets of filings from a court case tied to deceased sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, a tranche that's been colloquially and misleadingly referred to as the list. Even before their release, the documents reignited long-gestating conspiracy theories about prominent figures who were once in Epstein's orbit, including former President Bill Clinton and GOP presidential frontrunner Donald Trump, while providing both Democrats and Republicans with a new opportunity to attempt to link their opponents with Epstein's crimes. Because the documents were misrepresented on social media as a list of potential Epstein clients or co-conspirators, there was a major focus on who and what they would expose and whether prominent Epstein associates would be explicitly tied to his trafficking of minors. In reality, many people referenced in these documents are not accused of wrongdoing, and the filings are not a client list, as some surmised. Instead, the list is actually dozens of documents from a 2015 court case filed by Epstein against Epstein accuser Virginia Giuffre against his co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell, who has been convicted of child sex trafficking. These documents reference roughly 150 of Epstein's associates, including Clinton and Trump, but don't provide significant new information so much as they offer a more in-depth look at the people in Epstein's circles and a detailed view of the scope of his abuse. Despite the lack of revelations thus far, political actors, particularly those on the right, remain eager to utilize the information in these filings to continue to amplify the conspiracy theories they've long promoted. The fact is, chances are most people on this list are not actually, part of Epstein's child rape shit. Rich people do a lot of networking, and the idea that every single person who flew on his jet must have been doing some sussy shit is probably a little irresponsible. I think the people who went to that island, though, like Stephen Hawking, who we got the picture of on the island, who wanted to go to the island, I think that's somebody, like the people who literally went to the island, I think we can safely say sussy, right? But overall, rich people, they hang out together. The idea that everybody Epstein was in the orbit of or was in his orbit was in the know, probably not the case, because that's implicating a lot of fucking people. So many people, it'd be impossible to keep, it'd be impossible to keep things from leaking, right? What is the Epstein list? Following a request from the Miami Herald, the judge in the Maxwell case, Loretta Preska, ruled in favor of unsealing the documents from a defamation case against Maxwell, arguing that much of the information was already public. Epstein, a millionaire businessman charged with sex trafficking, and Maxwell, a former socialite and longtime confidant of Epstein, have faced numerous allegations they contributed to the sexual abuse and assault of minors and helped other powerful individuals do the same. Epstein's death, which was ruled a suicide by federal authorities, occurred in prison while he was awaiting trial. The unsealed documents, which retain some redactions, come from a variety of court filings, emails, police reports, and depositions, with figures key to the case, including former employees and victims of Epstein and Maxwell, as well as police officers. The depositions, in particular, contain accusations of sexual misconduct by figures in Epstein and Maxwell's circles, narratives on how Maxwell and others in Epstein's employ recruited girls and young women to work at Epstein's properties, and details of sex acts at least some of those recruited were coerced into, often under the guise of giving massages or participating in lingerie modeling jobs. Yeah, so creepy fucking shit. Accounts given to Florida law enforcement as part of their mid-2000s investigation into Epstein include interviews with multiple people, many of them minors, who were coerced into sex acts. In their statements to police, they describe giving massages to Epstein that turned unexpectedly sexual, with some saying that they were given money to recruit others. Collectively, they detail a pattern of sexual abuse in which Epstein masturbated and sexually assaulted individuals during the massages, sometimes in which verbal threats were made in order to cover up the abuse. That's pretty disgusting. It seems like most of the allegations are against like a select few associates of Epstein, and Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell in particular. Is it Ghislaine Maxwell? I'm going to say Ghislaine Maxwell because it's funnier. Who's mentioned, and what did we learn about them? There are a number of famous politicians and celebrities who were mentioned. In addition to Clinton and Trump, the UK's Prince Andrew, these are the people that are like fairly implicated, it would seem. The UK's Prince Andrew, former New Mexico Gov. Bill Richardson, and former Senator George Mitchell, among others, make appearances. Clinton and Trump have also fielded allegations of sexual misconduct unrelated to Epstein, though not everyone mentioned has. No. Donald Trump was sued by a woman who claimed that he and Epstein raped her when she was 13 years old, and she dropped the case after numerous threats. People forget that shit way too much. This was back in 2016. It wasn't unknown that Epstein was a pervert and a rapist at the time, but and it wasn't unknown that Trump was as well. But like, the fact that somebody would make up that specific claim that both of them raped her when she was 13, years before the Epstein stuff would be as big as it is, it feels more like evidence than coincidence. Bill Clinton, who is known to have taken several plane trips with Epstein, is mentioned though the references do not detail wrongdoing. Epstein accuses Johanna Sjoberg, testified as part of the case and said that Epstein told her that Clinton likes them young, but that she wasn't aware of Clinton engaging in any sexual contact with minors at Epstein's invitation. Oh boy. A Clinton spokesperson has said the former president had no knowledge of Epstein's crimes and that he had not contacted Epstein in more than a decade. Donald Trump is mentioned. Sjoberg testified that Epstein once discussed going to a casino in Atlantic City with him, though the references do not detail wrongdoing. In 2002, Trump previously said that he had known Epstein for, quote, 15 years and that he was a, quote, terrific guy who, quote, likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. That's a Trump quote, by the way. That he's a terrific guy who likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. In 2019, he distanced himself from Epstein after allegations of sex trafficking came out, saying he was, quote, not a fan. Prince Andrew appears in Sjoberg's deposition. She accused him of groping her breast, allegations that Buckingham Palace has previously denied. Sjoberg has added that someone took a photograph of the groping and that she was ushered out of the room after it happened, while Geoffrey remained with Andrew. Prince Andrew has also separately settled a case with Geoffrey, who has accused him of sexual abuse, which he denied. Attorney and former Trump impeachment counsel Alan Dershowitz is mentioned and accused of having sexual relations with a minor, referred to as Jane Doe number 3. In the documents and witnessing the abuse of additional girls, Dershowitz has posted a video denying these allegations. Previously, Geoffrey had also accused Dershowitz of sexual misconduct toward her, though she later dropped the allegations and stated that she, quote, may have made a mistake identifying Dershowitz. Notably, in 2008, Dershowitz also helped Epstein negotiate a plea deal over charges he faced for soliciting a minor for prostitution that resulted from the mid-2000s investigation in Florida. That Dershowitz guy sounds pretty sussy-wussy. Other famous names mentioned include magician David Copperfield, who allegedly spoke with Sjoberg about whether girls were being paid to find other girls and is not accused of any wrongdoing. Jean-Luc Brunel, a deceased modeling scout, is another individual Geoffrey said she was forced to have sexual relations with and is cited as someone who helped acquire and farm girls out to Epstein. Richardson and Mitchell are also people whom Geoffrey says she was forced to have sexual relations with. Both denied these allegations. Geoffrey explicitly references Richardson in the deposition, while Mitchell is mentioned as a witness of interest. What is the significance of the list, and does it matter? The documents refocus the spotlight on Epstein as well as the powerful men associated with him, raising fresh questions about their involvement with his crimes. That other documents remain sealed and Epstein isn't available to offer his first-hand account only add to the uncertainty inherent in these questions and offer new fuel to conspiracy theories. On the right, Epstein's death by suicide has been a central source of conspiracy fodder, including in bolstering unfounded claims that Epstein is an example of the Clintons having their political enemies killed. Additionally, the far right has tried to use Epstein's ties to various Democrats to push unsubstantiated claims about the party promoting a pedophilia ring, a conspiracy known as QAnon, which has been used to boost support for Trump. As Vox's Anna North has explained, those in the left have linked Epstein's death to unfounded claims of Trump orchestrating the deaths of his political foes as well. Additionally, there have been efforts to use Trump's history of sexual assault and rape allegations to suggest he was a direct participant in Epstein's crimes. I would argue the existence of that case where the woman claimed that when she was 13 years old, Trump and Epstein raped her, she remained anonymous and, dropped the case after threats came out against her, if Trump were to be pursued legally for this, that sounds, that all that happened back in 2016 sounds pretty legit, personally, I would say, but it's not verified by any means. The conspiracies have even ensnared those with nothing to do with the Epstein case. In a Tuesday appearance on ESPN, football player Aaron Rodgers suggested Jimmy Kimmel could be named in the documents. Rodgers' Kimmel reference followed a joke the late-night host had previously made, calling Rodgers a tinfoil hatter for fueling speculation about the Epstein list. Yeah, so a lot of these, liberal, talk show hosts that don't really engage in out-of-the-box conspiracy stuff that you'll see on Twitter have kind of not really been on board with the whole Epstein didn't kill himself thing. And so right-wing people accuse them of being on the Epstein list and being pedophiles. And it's been kind of a big problem. How were they able to threaten her if she was anonymous? Sounds like he must have known who she was for some reason. Well, no, the threats were coming out publicly. They were public threats towards the person going after Trump. The person got scared into dropping the case by the public reaction to the case. But she remained unnamed through everything. I don't think her name ever came out. But, yeah. Kimmel was quick to claim Rodgers' comments had serious fallout. Your reckless words put my family in danger, Kimmel said in a social media statement. As the Pizzagate situation in 2016 highlighted, these conspiracy theories can have real-world consequences and implications. That year, internet trolls on the right promoted a false conspiracy theory that prominent Democrats had formed a sex trafficking ring targeting children, and that they used pizza establishments like Comet Ping Pong in Washington, D.C. to do so. Because of this, the restaurant suffered significant harassment and saw a gunman visit its premises and fire inside. Thus far, the Epstein conspiracies have yet to result in comparable consequences, though there are concerns they could fuel misinformation and similarly charged scenarios amid the highly polarized political environment of the 2024 election. As much as I like to do the fun memes about Epstein didn't kill himself, the Epstein list, and all powerful rich people are pedophiles, those are serious allegations that can end lives and careers. And as much as you may not like some of these rich, powerful people, I don't know if levying such serious allegations potentially falsely and irresponsibly is a good idea. I really like this article because it literally goes over the court filings and tells you what is actually verified, not just conspiracies or memes or Twitter posts and headlines you'll see. I think this article does a really good job of taking a really balanced, real, non-speculative, non-conspiracy derived view at the situation. And I do think the left and the right have both engaged in some shameless weaponization of this without really caring what the truth is by the looks of things. I would agree. However, what I will say is that the right is doing it far worse. The right is doing it far, far worse. The right is desperate to weaponize this to be some kind of epic own against the Democrats, when the funny thing is the closest to an epic own on anyone that it is the Republican Party, because Donald Trump is the one who's actually got allegations of rape and sexual assault coming at him from somebody who says he was in cohorts with Epstein and that's how he did it. But hey, what do I know?